Overall, our group will explain in 3 topics, which are motivation in workplace, workplace attitude, and work-related stress and stress management. The topic for motivation in workplace, my fellow members will elaborate about goal setting and feedback, efforts, organizational justice, theory, advantage, and challenges of motivation in workplace. Next, my other members will explain about meaning of the workplace attitude, how emotion and cognition influence attitude and behavior, ways to keep positive attitude at workplace, causes, and 3 components of it. Last but not least, our other members will explain about definition of work-related stress and stress management, types of stress, effects of it, and steps of stress management and causes of stress at workplace.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is NURSYAHIRAH binti ROSLI. First topic for this day is motivation at the workplace. Motivation is the power of an individual's internal drive to affect the direction, intensity and persistence of voluntary action to work assiduously toward a goal. Motivation is one of 4 essential drivers of individual behavior and performance. Direction is principle for someone in doing their activity. By focused goals, intensity, how much to push yourself to complete the task, and the persistence, amount of time taken for effort to be exerted. Next, the advantage of motivation in organization. 1. Unite the efforts of members in one direction. All employees will unite and cooperate in doing work or tasks diligently to achieve the organization goals together. Second, retain employee in organization. When all the needs and wants of the workers are met, can avoid the migration of skilled workers to the other place. 3. Reduce employee absence. Leaders or managers need to always give motivation and encouragement to employees so that they will always come to work. And 4. Reduce employees turnover. Every employee wants to continue working in an organization that can meet their expectation, needs and wants. Next, company effort to increasing employee motivation. The first, create a welcoming work environment. In workplace, create a friendly culture with areas for the rest and play. Employees will look forward to coming into work. The second, recognize and reward great work. The reward doesn't necessarily have to be monetary. It could be such as giving them a day off. Rewards are particularly good promoters of motivation and job satisfaction. The third, encourage teamwork. Collaboration between teams in the company allows ideas to be developed further. Working with those with different skill set will in turn create more innovative results. I will explain challenges of motivating employees. The first, leadership style. Management style deeply impacts motivation. Leadership style is a method used by a leader to influence his employees in all action. The second, the reward system. Manager ensure a clear evaluation system. Employees need to know their job description, what is required of them each day. For example, provide annual bonus. The third, the organization climax. Organization climax refer to an employee's long-lasting perception of working environment and culture. The fourth, the structure of work refer to the division of work or task in organization. Structure will give employees clarify, provide consistency. For example, an organizational chart also assign responsibility of employees.
Next is organizational justice. The first one is interactional justice, fairness of decision-making, treatment and communication. Interactional justice focuses on the way in which an individual is treated when decisions are made. Interactional justice can also be broken down into 2 types, which is interpersonal and informational justice. Interpersonal justice focuses on the way in which organizations treat employees with an emphasis on respect and courtesy, while informational justice focuses on whether employees provide adequate explanation to employees with an emphasis on timeliness, specificity and truthfulness. So the next is goal settings and feedback. So the first one is specific. Goals leads to better performance when they are specific. Specific goals states what needs to be accomplished, how it should be accomplished, and where, when, and with whom it should be accomplished. It clarifies performance expectations so employees can direct their effort more efficiently and reliably. The second one is measurable. Goals needs to be measurable because motivation occurs when people have some indication of their progress and achievement of their goals. This measurement ideally includes how much, which is quantity, how well, which is quality, and at what cost the goal was achieved. Other than that, achievable. One of the most trickiest aspects of goal setting is developing goals that are sufficiently but not overly challenging. Easy goals result in performance that is well below the employee's potential. Yet, goals that are too challenging may also lead to reduced effort if employees believe there is a low probability of accomplishing them. Next is relevant. Goals need to be relevant to the individual's job and within his or her control. For example, a goal to reduce waste materials would have little value if employees don't have much control over waste in the production process. Next is time frame. Goals need a due date. They should specify when the objective should be completed or when it will be assessed for comparison against a standard. Other than that, exciting. Goals tend to be more effective when employees are committed to them, not just complain. Challenges goals tend to be more exciting for most employees because they are more likely to fulfill a person's growth needs when the goal is achieved. Goal commitment also increase when employees are involved in goal setting. Last but not least is review. Effective feedback requires measurement, but it also includes reflecting or discussing with others your goal, progress, and accomplishment. Reviewing goals, progress, and achievement helps employees redirect their effort. It is also a potential source of recognition that fulfills growth needs.
Next, there are 5 theories in this topic. The first Maslow need theory, self-actualization. It is a human need to develop oneself and obtain success by using all effort. For example, managers provide facilities for employees to continue learning to improve their knowledge level. The second is need. It is a need to get upgrade attention or effort. Managers appreciate excellent employees with benefits such as salaries and bonus. Belongingness, it is a human desire are accepted in society like love. For example, organizing a family days. The fourth, safety, the need to avoid things that cause injury. Management ensure a comfortable and safe workplace environment. The lastly, physiological. It is a basic human needs to suffice. Wages that earned by workers are able to meet basic needs such as buying food. Next, expectancy theory. E to P, expectancy to increase the employee's belief that she or he is capable to performing the job successfully. For example, select people with the required skills and knowledge. P to O, expectancy to increase the employee's belief that his or her good performance will result in certain value outcome. For example, measure job performance accurately. Outcome balancer to increase the employee's expected satisfaction with outcomes resulting from desired performance. For example, distribute rewards that employees value. The third is learn needs theory. Needs for achievement. A learn need in which people want to accomplish reasonably, challenging in goals and desire ambiguous feedback and recognition for their success. The second, need for affiliation. A learn need in which people seek approval from others, conform to their wishes and expectations, and avoid conflict and confrontation. The third, need for power. A learn need in which people want to control the environment, including people and material resources, to benefit either themselves, personalized power, and other socialized power.
Next is 4 drive theory. The first one, drives to acquire. This is the drive to seek out, take, control, and retain objects and personal experience. It is a variation of the need for achievement, competence, status, and self-esteem, and to some extent self-actualization. The drive to acquire also motivates competition. Drive to bond. The drive to bond motivates people to cooperate and consequently is essential for organizations and societies. And then that, drive to comprehend. This is similar to Maslow's primary need to know. People are inherently curious and need to make sense of their environment and themselves. They are motivated to discover answers to unknown as well as conflicting ideas. To some degree, the drive to comprehend is related to self-actualization. Last but not least, drive to defend. This is the drive to protect ourselves physically, psychologically, and socially. Probably, the first drive to develop it creates a fight or flight response in the face of threat to our physical safety, our possession, our self-concept, our values, and the well-being of others.
Through this topic, we can know that motivate workers is a precious asset who may significantly benefit the company by sustaining and boosting business and revenue growth. So I will pass the next present to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is IZZATI BINTI HAMZAH. The next chapter is workplace attitude. Workplace attitude is a person's behavior, character, and morals that are influenced by the environment. For example, if the person were influenced with positive environment, it will be a positive attitude towards workplace. Furthermore, making sense of how people behave depends on understanding their work attitude. Next, how emotion and cognition influence attitude and behavior. Emotion can help someone to recognize and predict people's attitude. For instance, the positive emotion can make person's behavior good in the workplace. Emotion also directly affect behaviors such as facial expression. If the worker is angry at the workplace, the attitude at the workplace is worse will form when stimulation which come to someone giving pleasant experience. Emotion is different with attitude that contain belief, feelings, and behavior towards people. Emotion have greater influence than cognition. Emotion also directly affect behavior. Now, let's look the ways to keep positive attitude at the workplace. I have 3 ways. The first one is surround yourself with positive people. If you are always with negative people who complain about the bad thing, you will be a complainer. Try to connect with positive people such as people who are like their job, interested in a lot of things. It will make you look better than you with negative people. The second one is control your language. When we feel angry, we need to try not to use the rude word. You need to think first before you speak. Find a positive way to view everything and everyone. The last way is be nice with people. Being kind to other people will make you happy, and it will become a cycle of happiness that makes you feel good and causes those around you happy as well.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is HANIS binti Maisa. So I want to continue my friend's presentation, which is 3 components of attitude. So the first one is belief. Belief is associated with the value of statement, consists of values, belief, ideas, and other information that a person may have faith in. Second, feeling. Feeling and emotional are from the behavior. For example, the workers feel angry because little salary compared to other colleges. Lastly, behavioral intention. Behave towards something or someone. For example, the workers want to find another job that have the higher salary. Next is causes of attitude at workplace. The first one is leadership. Managers and leaders plays an important role in influencing the behavior of individuals at workplace. It is the responsibility of leaders to set a direction for team members. In majority of the cases, it has been observed that employees do not feel like going to work when they have strict bosses. You need to stand by your team always. Guide them and help them in their day-to-day operation and help them to acquire new skills and upgrade their knowledge. If you do not reach office on time, how can you expect your team members to adhere to the rules and regulations of organization? Next is work culture. Employees need to feel comfortable at workplace for them to stay positive and happy. Rules and regulations should be safe for everyone. Do not complicate the reporting system. Transparency at all levels is essential. You must know what your team members is up to and vice versa. Job security is one of the most crucial factors affecting employee behavior. Stand by your team at the times of crisis. Do not throw them out during bad times. Believe me, they will never leave you. Next is job responsibilities. Employees should be asked to do what best they can perform. Do not overburden employees. Encourage them to upgrade their skill from time to time.
In conclusion, attitude have a strong effect when they are activated by situation cues and when people are self-aware. Consistent attitude have a strong effect on behavior than ambivalent attitude. Attitude is the person description and explanation of their behavior. It is a thought of as making up personality. It totally depends on the person attitude that how he perceives the thing. So finally, I can say that the person should always have positive attitude. Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AMIRA SYAZWINA binti SHAFIE and I will explain about topic 6, work-related stress and stress management. I will explain the concept or definition of stress. According to Bria and Newman 1978, stress is a condition arising from the interaction of people from work and characterized by changes within people that force them to deviate from their normal functioning. Stress is generally indicated as a deviation from normal functioning of body and mind. Stress is also an adaptive response to a situation that is perceived as challenging or threatening to the person's well-being. Stress at the workplace is one of the important issues that must be dealt with to achieve progress. Everyday challenges for workers is increasing in many different fields as they progress into creates new problems. Because of these changes, number of illnesses has been increased, morality and human aspects are faded, while new problems are occurred every day. This leads to work stress, which called illness of the century. Next, I will explain types of stress, which divided by two. First one is eustress, which is just a reasonable amount of stress that an individual can take. This type of stress brings out positive effects. It may be able to provoke heightened abilities and talents automatically inspires humans to take on new challenges. The second type of stress is distress. Distress is an excessive quantity of stress which can be harmful to the individual. This kind of stress can cause negative effect on body and mind of individual. For example, the effect is depression, heart attack, and so on. Next, I will explain the effects of stress at workplace. First is on individuals, which divided by two, which is first, behavior change. If employees have stress and think a lot, that will cause short-temperedness, frustrated, nervous, depressed, and become more hostile towards other people. Second, performance decline. Employees who are stressed will not focus well on their tasks. Those employees will lose interest in their work, careless, often miss their job, and so on. This situation will affect their productivity and work performance will decline. The second effect is on organization. Employees' productivity decline, which is on organization. Productivity and employees' performance decline, causing the organization to face losses and increase organization resourcing costs. Second on organization is increased disciplinary cases. High disciplinary case problems such as unauthorized absence will cause the work schedule to be affected and work productivity to decline. Last but not least, I will explain steps of stress management, which divided by 4. The first step is identify the cause of stress. People need to identify the cause of stress first, whether it is because internal environmental factor or external factor. The second step is identify stress levels. The individual needs to identify stress level, whether it is in normal state, middle stage, or high stage. Each different level of stress requires different methods of action. The third step is training to overcome stress. This step is a form of skill that contains various techniques that needs to be learned by each individual in how to deal with stress. The last step is choose appropriate techniques to manage stress. These appropriate techniques ought to be chosen to manage stress according to the cause and level of stress experienced by the individual. If it's necessary, the individual can ask for help from others.
Hi, my name is HANIS binti Mesa, so I will the next presenter for the causes of stress at workplace. There are two types of causes, which is internal and external causes. Internal causes involve an individual's mindset, which lead to stress. It also based on perception of an individual. For example, even though that person's surrounding have no threat, but he or she may feel threatening and get stressed. The other types is external causes. There are 5 specific causes in the external. The first one is job insecurity. Certain employees who work in an organization will fear of losing his or her job, which leads to chronic stress and reduced work quality. Second, working hours. A very odd working hours may lead to many psychological problems in employees, which lead to stress during work. Other than that, control at work. If employees has no or very little control over work, then he or she will lose interest in the work and feel stressed up to meet expectation of superiors. Next, managerial style. The controlling style of manager also will stress out the employees. Managers with autocratic style of control give very little freedom to the employees in decision making and planning. So, employees who are working under such managers are stressed due to very less control over their work. Lastly, overload and underload. Overload means performing a large amount of work in a very short time. When the employees are under the load of tasks to do in a very short period, it's too much for them to concentrate and finish it on time.
To conclude with, this topic have mentioning about a lot of stress, including type of stress, what are the causes of it, effect from stress, and how to overcome it. The seriousness of stress need to be exposed to public, especially the employees. Thus, every management needs to be aware of the situation in order to avoid any issues.